Good evening, and welcome to the Library Commission special meeting agenda for Monday, December 9th, 2024. I think first thing we need to do is do the call to order. There you go. And a roll call, and we can start over here.
Vice President Parmar. Here.
President Julie Shai here. And thus far, that's it for tonight, but it is a quorum, so we can continue. Monica, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? You're the closest to the flag.
I don't know if I would be able to do it. You do it. Yeah.
That's a good point. I'm so sorry. Hang on.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have all the words. I apologize.
I might garble the words. Let's see.
Yes.
You know, I'm not that close to being a student. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. Okay. And I think I did all right. Okay. Okay, we need, here's where I'm a little stuck on the approval of the agenda. It's the three of us. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and that passes. And the approval of the minutes from September 30th, 2024, which I was not at, so I can't vote, so we only have two.
I approve the minutes.
I approve the minutes as
Are
well.
we okay? Think we're good at that?
Or is it fine?
Okay. Okay,
Well, that's not a quorum,
exactly.
Should we
so
hold?
I don't think we could vote on it.
So
Okay.
maybe we'll
We
have
hold
to
off to
vote
the
on
next.
it next time. We'll vote on
Okay.
2 meetings worth of minutes. Okay, great.
She abstained.
I see.
I have to abstain because I wasn't there.
Right,
Okay. I did read them, and, you know, there's not a lot there, so I
it's a
probably
short
should have
meeting.
watched it. Okay, so then we have announcements and any introductions. We'll start with you, Monica. Any announcements?
No, nothing. Just lots of holiday events going on around town, so I hope everybody participates. There's all kinds of activities. I think the Senior Center has a sing-along tomorrow night, and then, you know, the library is also going to be doing an event. I'm sure Barbara's going to mention that later on. And then we have all kinds of things happening. Leonis Adobe has holiday stuff, and you know, all the recreation facilities have things going on. So I hope everybody participates and has a great holiday.
Great. I'm going to just mention that I took up the invitation to do the special collections tour. Did anybody else here do that? No. And it was just really wonderful. It's basically, as you know from the last meeting, since I read the minutes, we got the grant for the archival materials. And so Brian Rooney has been working at using them to protect the archives that already exist. And so it was just nice to see how he has taken that material and that space and is really organizing it and making it so much more user-friendly for everyone who wants to take a look at what we have. Anything else? Any other announcements?
Not from me.
Okay.
No?
All right, so we're going to go into oral communications. Is there anyone who would like to make a public comment? Since we don't have anybody here, we're going to go ahead and say no. Discussion items, the library annual report.
Okay.
Ms. Lockwood, would you like to go ahead and present?
Yes, thank you. Every year, the California State Library collects data from all the public libraries about their in California, obviously, about their facilities, services, programs, and collections. And this is done throughout the United States in every state, and it's reported to the Institute of Museum and Library Services, where we get a lot of our grants from. And the Public Library Survey provides statistics on the status of public libraries since 1988. It's been happening. And it's been described as the backbone of research, analysis, and policy discussions about the current state of public libraries. So this year's survey was due on October 31st, and it covers fiscal year 23-24. So all these end in June 30th of 2024. And some highlights of the survey include, well, I gave you the survey that you could look at, but this is for all the millions of viewers out there watching us on TV. I'll say some of the statistics. And the total operating cost for the library was $1,929,386, but this does not include the building mortgage, which is more than $700,000 that we pay every year. Something interesting this year is that e-materials circulated more than physical materials for the first year.
Wow.
Oh, wow, okay.
It was funny, last year they actually asked us, the state library, how many e-materials we had, but it was never accurate because hoopla, there's millions of digital items, movies, comics, books that we don't own, but is available to everyone in the state. So people were putting down, oh, we have 2 million items, and they're like, you really don't. So we just look at circulation now. So e-material circulation was 112,456, as opposed to the physical materials, which circulated 109,783 times, for a circulation of 222,239. And the library had 191 programs with a total attendance of 4,310. When you do an average, it only comes out to like 22 per program, but it's because our summer reading program, we have more than 100 kids. Our story times, we often have 60, 70 people attend, but then we have the tutoring programs twice a week, and those are one-on-one tutors to tutor to students, and we have about like 6 to 10 each time.
Okay.
So it brings down the statistics a little bit. It's still, a lot of our adult programs now just get maybe 10, 15, 20 at the most, but not like the kids programs that get so much. And library public computer use is down, but wireless sessions are up. So it's funny, we have the computer room with 15 computers, but really only about 3 to 4 people go in nowadays. Everybody has their own laptop and phones and iPads, so it's a little different. Libraries are looking a little different. But we still have a large attendance. Yesterday, I went around and counted at 3:15 p.m., and there were 100 people in the library.
Nice.
And those aren't people that go in and out, in and out. These were people just staying in the library, studying. It's finals time, I guess.
Yeah.
So we do get a large number of people. Do you have any questions?
I think everything is it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm actually really impressed that not only do you have people physically in the library, but the fact that we've been discussing ebooks and the purchase of and the value of and all of that. So now we see that obviously people are utilizing all of that material, and they do, regardless of what's streaming on cable and television and all of that, they still need it. So that's great. That just proves that, everything's working the way it should, and we need to just continue doing what we're doing.
Well, it's free to them, so it's a nice benefit. And usually, when do I do it? I will do also another report with pictures and more, just talking about what's happened in general besides just numbers later on.
Do you, when you're looking at how much e-material is being used, do you also look at like the age demographic of who? Is it showing that students are the ones that are primarily using it, or?
It doesn't provide that.
Okay.
Because we don't know. I know this was a question when we were discussing Hidden Hills, who is actually using the digital books, but they don't, you have to sign up with a library number, but the service does not know who the people are.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So we would have to analyze all, 120,000 users by their library card number to identify them through our database. It would just be too hard.
And for myself personally, I don't think that would be what we'd want to do. We're not like a for-profit service where we're collecting that data. That's really, I don't think anybody else's business what somebody's checking out.
Yeah. We do, it's interesting, we just have a new service through the city called Placer, and it provides a lot of demographic information about people just visiting the library.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
More, I shouldn't say that. It's more geographic. So it tells you who, because they look at who comes in with the cell phone. They can check the cell phone, like however that's done, and they know where the people are coming from, which is kind of interesting. And it's not a surprise. You know, most everyone's from Calabasas and the school district.
Yeah, no, I think it's just more when we're purchasing materials or providing materials or
Yeah.
having some sort of lists or things for people to utilize. It'd be nice if we kind of knew, like if there's a lot more student usage, then that's what we have to focus on. But yet, you know, sometimes other populations, no one's paying attention, and then actually it's somebody else that's utilizing it. So it would be nice, in my opinion, to be able to figure out, you know, who it is that's utilizing all that information more. I'm assuming it's a lot of students, because I know a lot of students come and utilize the library, and right now colleges have finals and schools are having all kinds of projects and exams and things going on, so I could just imagine it's only going to increase as the holidays come around. But that's great.
We know from our own database, you know, the ages, and that's in here, how many, isn't it, how many library card holders are children and adults. We know that type of thing.
No, it's interesting when you do a search for a particular book. It used to be only the physical book, and now there's so many different choices. So I have a feeling a lot of different people, not just students, are probably looking at both kinds, electronically and physical. It's neat.
That's all I have, unless you have questions.
I was waiting, sorry. Just as I was going through here, I think I realized we have a bookmobile?
No.
Oh, we don't, okay, it's
No,
just
no, no.
part of the survey, so that's
Oh,
why
yeah,
it's
yeah, but
included here.
it's not filled in.
Yeah, got it, okay.
So where it says we have a population of 22,700, but we have 53,000 active library users, are those people who have cards who are outside of Calabasas? or-
Yes.
Okay.
So-
And Hidden Hills also?
Hidden Hills, Bell Canyon, Agora, Woodland Hills, a lot of Woodland Hills users.
Oh, I'm sure,
And
yeah.
back in the old days, the state used to ask us for how many, they used to reimburse us for the number of books that were checked out by people other than those in our city.
Wow.
Oh,
And so we would keep track of that. And so honestly, there's people that live in Coronado in Santa Barbara that travel down the freeway and stop at our library, or work here and live
Definitely.
in, you know,
yeah.
Altadena or somewhere, you know, downtown LA. So that's.
But I think as we're advertising the student programs too, like the tutoring especially, I know I have that regularly on our LVUSD site. So LVUSD is an expanse of so many different cities
Yeah.
at this point. So those students, and then because you guys provide such an amazing place for kids to go after school, a lot of these kids that are picked up by parents that are working afterwards as well probably utilize the library. So I think it's amazing, especially for our schools, of course, you know, that the kids have another place to be able to go. The school facilities aren't always enough for them, so it's fabulous that we have another outlet for them to be at.
Do you know what the capacity is of the library? Because you said you counted 100, and I'm
And what's
thinking, wow.
funny is, I think we only have 75 seats. But since we had the couch, we had people sitting there.
Yeah.
We actually have people who stand up and work on the high
Oh,
shelves.
okay.
Or sometimes sit on the floor.
I was going to say sit on the floor, that's what I used to do.
So comfortable, yeah.
I'm surprised there's only 75 seats, I would have thought more.
You know what? I should recount that, because we added the couch, and then we also added a couch in the children's room. And then, you know, I don't count the,
Platform.
yes, in the
children's
story
area,
time
yeah.
room. And students who are in there
Of
on
course, yeah,
Sunday.
of course, yeah.
And do you count the seats outside, at the tables just
No, I don't
outside where a lot of
count
students
that.
sit?
I never go out and count, but those were all
Always
full.
filled people.
Great.
Yeah,
Do we have
it's
any other
amazing.
questions on this report? Okay, then I will go ahead and ask for the library senior corner room update.
Okay, now, the pictures were not on the website, but did you?
Yes.
You got
Yes,
the
we
pictures
did.
in your packet? All right, I don't know, we sent it, but they didn't get included. So, let me get back to where I was for a minute.
So the only thing new there really is the couch, right? Everything else has just sort of been reconfigured.
Yeah, I moved things
Nice.
around, but we'll talk about that in a minute, because I might change some things. So the background is, at the March 18th, 2024 Library Commission meeting, members suggested that we redesign the library's senior corner room to make it more comfortable and inviting for patrons, and subcommittee members met in the room to discuss possibilities. So a local business owner donated a couch, and staff rearranged some of the furniture, which you'll see in the picture, and we're still working on the lighting.
yes.
It's still really dark in there, and there are little spotlights all over, but they just don't work. So I think they have to get special bulbs for those.
Okay.
But when I go in there, I turn on the lamps. We have some lamps in there. And I think last time when we talked about it, I was concerned about putting more shelving, because we have large print books in there, and that's getting full. So on one of the walls, I have a short shelf, and maybe we need to get a much bigger, wider shelf in that area to have the large print shelving. And then we have a display,
Yes, we have a display case.
and
And we're going to, the Chamber has their 70th anniversary next year, so one of the things that they'd like to do is to be able to display some of their artifacts from 70 years, although we're not sure we can find all the way back. But in that case, and just, as part of the celebration for 70 years, it'll be really nice. And then, of course, what do we have in there right now?
we actually have some Calabasas history
Right.
memorabilia.
Right. It's nice.
And we have Ellen Pangoro-Leotis's picture and her certificate. But, it's a display case that we can move things around every
Right.
month if we want to.
Right. So we'll think about that. That's nice. And then looking at these pictures of the senior corner room, is, maybe it's missing a rug?
Yeah.
Something to kind of pull,
Okay.
that space together? I mean, I know we just got it, so, the couch, but,
Just to make it more cozy, I think some cushions, maybe a plant.
Okay.
exactly, it's a little bare.
For
Actually,
sure, plant.
that's actually a good
Yeah.
idea to do
Yeah.
that. Rugs, plants.
Cushions, it'll cozy it up a little bit.
Yeah,
But I think like you're saying to get another shelf, maybe that would also like take up some of the white
Yeah.
wall space as well and make it a little cozier.
And moving those pictures down. Maybe.
Definitely.
or getting larger pictures maybe of some of the historical photos that maybe Brian could point us in the right direction of what's going to reproduce well in an enlarged photo.
Yeah, because you have a big space behind the couch.
Yeah. Okay,
Right.
well, it's in progress. It's
Yes.
exciting. I
It looks
love
really nice though.
I
It looks
know.
really good.
And
Let's
also,
start.
One thing I wanted to ask you though, how do the seniors know it's there? It's called the senior corner room, but how do we?
Okay, there's history behind that.
Okay.
Before they built the senior center, the Library Commission wanted a place for seniors to go, and we actually would have them come in the back room and play cards and do their scrapbooking. But once they built the senior center, and at that time, we put that name up, but it's not really the senior corner anymore. However, we have the large print
The
books
large
in
print
there.
books.
Just,
we did talk about changing the name, I think, back in March also, to something that's more just some sort of cozy corner or something.
Yeah.
So people feel like they can come in if they're
Okay.
not a senior.
So it's really just, it's just a room, anybody can go in and
Yes.
sit down.
Yeah.
You don't have to reserve it, you don't
No.
have to, right.
and you don't have to be a senior.
And you don't have to be a senior.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, what, if we talked about it before, what's stopping us from changing the name? Since I think the word senior up there, if somebody sees it, they're like, oh, I guess
Yeah.
I can't go in there, right? So what would we, what process would
take
we
some
go
s-
through?
Well, it is lettering on there that's like brass, so, it does cost money
Right.
to change
What if we
that.
just made it the corner room and not the senior corner room?
Like the
I know, we're
corner.
still gonna have to put toothpaste in the holes when we take down the
Yeah.
senior.
Everybody's some.
Anyway, I'm just, I'm just wheels turning.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what, for our next meeting, if you want to come up with
Yeah.
some suggestions.
I mean, it's a great, the way you have it set up right now, it's great for like anyone that wants to do a book club type situation and bring people in, and it's like a great meeting space. So definitely changing it so it doesn't matter what age category, making it just like, I love the cozy corner, actually.
I'm curious, who uses it now? Who do you see
People
going in
just
there?
go in and sit.
So no
But we do
particular
have to-
demographic.
No, and we do have to keep it open so people could go in and browse the large print room,
Okay.
books.
Books.
And then, in the back of that room is where we have the maker space.
Oh, yes.
So, and that door's locked until we use it.
Right.
There's all sorts of equipment in there.
Equipment in there.
Okay, great. Are we, any other comments for the cozy corner?
Cozy corner.
Okay, I think we're ready to move on.
Okay, just before we go, though, I
okay.
will, at the next meeting, try and get a fiscal impact for you on
Okay.
how much it would cost to change the
Oh,
lettering,
okay.
the rug,
Perfect.
the picture, that type of thing.
Maybe some pillows.
The only thing I
Yeah.
worry about is people might want to sleep on the couch
Oh, well,
if it's too cozy.
Oh,
Well,
well, that's
maybe,
true.
maybe a plant, or something
Okay,
else.
definitely a
Maybe
plant.
we'll think about the cushions.
And a cot, and then.
Okay, are we ready for the city librarian's report?
I don't have too much more.
Okay.
I will say this is a sad thing, we've lost 3 hourly librarians in the past 6 months.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
We have hired a new librarian starting December 17th, hourly librarian. And then we interviewed 2 other people, and we're going to make some more choices. But I think we have to put out the job description again soon. So we always have new people.
Did you say you lost 3 in the past 6 months? Or past, okay.
3, yes, they got full-time jobs. 1 retired just from library work in general. And the 2 other young people got full-time jobs at other libraries.
Oh,
The only other thing I was going to talk to you about is apparently the state of California has passed a California Freedom to Read Act. And it's to ensure that, we don't have, well, I think it just describes what it says. It's the freedom to read, so we don't ban books or unnecessarily, or,
okay.
I see.
And it wants us, this act says we have to have a collection development policy, which we do. And it's on our website under staff profile and policies.
Okay.
I just saw today there was there's a sentence missing out of it, so I'm going to redo that. But if you want to review the collection policy as we have it, but this California Freedom to Read Act requires that we have specific language. So I'm going to come back, we have to send our collection policy to the state, and they will review it and see if our language is good enough that fulfills the requirements. So I'll come back to you at some point, because I do believe that the mission statement and the collection development policy were approved by the Library Commission at some point in the past. And so I will run that by you again with this, if they ask us to put the new language in. If there are any changes, I'll bring it to the Library Commission.
Is there a template that they have provided you?
They haven't, well, they have given me something, and it says the policy contains the following statements, blah, 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 I won't read the whole thing.
Yeah.
But our policy now does contain this, not that exact language.
Okay.
So I don't know if I have to run it past the state to have the exact language from the bill.
Okay.
And that's what they're asking us to do. Submit the policy, we'll review it, we'll come back, work with you, and tell you what you need to put in and what's good.
Okay.
So at some point in a future meeting. Now, it's not due till next year, so I've talked to, because some libraries don't have a collection development policy. We've had one from the beginning of time.
Okay.
That's great that it matches, not exactly, but it's great that it matches in spirit.
Right, so I
there
don't
may
know
not be a lot of
exactly how
modifications.
picky they are about it.
Okay.
And except for all the events going on, I will mention that I am hosting a holiday tea on December 15th from 3 to 5 for the Friends of the Library. There's a $25 per adult fee, and all the proceeds go to the Friends of the Library.
Okay.
Nice.
So if anyone's interested, it's on our e-news, it's also on our website. There's, it gives you directions on how you would sign up.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
And then we do have all our story, we always have our calendar that's available online and at the library, has all our programming. Our children's programming is going on, but we are going to take a break for the holiday season. So the baby lap sit is going to run through December 19th. And the toddler story time will run through December 14th. So that's that. We have Pause to Read on December 14th, and people can sign up for that. And we have Study Buddies. Probably now is the best time to sign up for Study
Yes.
Buddies since it's finals. And that's most Tuesdays from 4 to 5. And that's on Zoom. That's virtual.
Okay.
Mainly because the student tutors, it's easier for them. They don't, after school, they can get right on the computer
Yeah.
and start.
Yep.
Instead of running down to the library, some of them don't have a way to get to the library after school. And as usual, we always have our book clubs. We have the Tuesday evening book club, the Wednesday morning book club, and our online Film Fanatics. And if you want additional information, all of that is on our website.
Perfect.
And that is it. If you have any
Yay.
more questions?
Has the in-person book club, have you had good attendance? Good.
Yes, we've had the Tuesday night, which I run, and we've had like 15 people.
Oh, that's
It's really
awesome.
fun.
Nice.
Really
Yeah,
fun
that's good.
at it.
I'm glad.
And the Wednesday is, it's hybrid. It's half in the conference room and half on Zoom.
Oh, okay.
And I want to say, they have about 4 people in person and 4 virtually.
Nice. So future agenda items are maybe you're talking about the fiscal impact of what we're hoping to change the senior corner into the cozy corner, or a better name. You'll come back to us with that. And also a rug plant, changing the pictures on the wall. And at some point, probably not the next commission, you'll talk to us about the Freedom to Read collection development policy, right? Was there anything else we talked about that needs to be agendized in the future?
Oh, our next meeting is probably the reorganization.
Oh, reorganization, right?
Okay.
The appointments are supposed to be filled, I believe, January 16th at the city council meeting. The deadline for the applications to apply for the
Is-
library commission is December 16th?
Okay. And do we have vacancies?
We have 1 vacancy, which we've had,
Okay.
and there's 2 members that need to reapply,
Okay, great.
or one at this point.
Okay, great.
And so the city council meeting will be in the middle of January, so we should probably think about having a meeting, maybe our regular meeting is supposed to be the first Monday of the month. The 3rd. We switch
that would
them
be
around.
after
so
the
We keep
16th,
switching
yeah.
them around so
Yeah.
much.
Okay, I won't be in town on the first Monday in January.
Well, no, we have to
That
wait
sounds
till after the next commission.
Oh, right, okay, thank you. That's
So
right,
let's hope it's before the third Monday. Will you be around the third Monday in
yes,
January?
Yes,
Okay.
should be fine.
It's the 20th, yeah.
That's why we keep switching.
So could we do the same thing where you just send us dates
Yes.
that work and then we can figure out
Right.
what works
Yeah,
for
that
everyone?
sounds great.
What about the first Monday in February? We'll see.
Now we're really looking a little further ahead.
Okay, somewhere along the line, we
Right.
switched, we have to go back and look at it again. Years ago, we switched it so that we would meet on Thursday.
Oh.
And during COVID, we went back to Mondays because it just was more convenient for people. But I need to dig up the original library commission minutes where we switched to Thursday.
Right, but you may have another commission in here on Thursdays they may have moved.
Maybe, was that the problem? Yeah. So we have to check, because Mondays generally are holidays. I
That's
mean, if
right.
there's a holiday,
Yeah,
it's a
of
Monday.
course, yeah.
Holidays, yeah.
Well, so maybe that's another, once you guys figure that out, then we can put that
Yeah,
on the
put
agenda
that
as
on the
discussing,
agenda.
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, if we change it to Thursday, that would be Thanksgiving.
But
There's
that's just
always
one
something.
time.
Just once a year, though.
One time.
Right. Okay, I'm just making a note. Here we go. I want to make a motion to adjourn. Do we have any ayes?
Yes, go.
Do we second it?
I
Or
mean,
did we just say aye?
Oh, yeah, we should second it. I'm so sorry.
I'm seconding it.
Okay, thank you. And
aye.
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 There we go.